Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu inspects Red Line project, Adenija Dele Road, Mercy Children Hospital, as well as vehicle assembly plant and leather industrial hub. This week is all about projects inspection. The first is the Red Line Mass Transit Project, an initiative conceived by the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. During an on-the-spot assessment of the rail project, the governor assured residents of completing the 37-kilometer project first quarter 2023.
The inspection tour of the Red Line project kicks off at the Agege station, where there's a link between the Nigerian Railway Corporation line and the interstate rail service. Governor Sanwo-Olu, his deputy, Kadri Amzat, and other state officials get the update on the level of work done so far. He moves to Ikeja station, where 80% of the civil work has been completed. The governor also checked the progress of the overpass being constructed on Sanwo-Olu axis to ensure non-interference of vehicular movement on the rail passageway.
Our journey today started the way from Agege station, where we all view and saw what we're doing at Agege station. And at Agege station, we also have NRC station there. So that's where, when trains, if NRC is running and they are bringing passengers from Ibadan, that's the station in which they are going to come down if they want to join our own intra-city train services. And you can see that there's a connectivity between our own station in Agege and the NRC station in Agege. From Agege, we moved to Ikeja. Ikeja happens to be the iconic station on the Red Line. And you can see that that station is on a wide expanse of about 240 meters. In clear terms, that's the size of almost 3 football fields. We all saw it. And it's at roof level. It's going into completion. And all of the things, all of the furnitures that needs to make it a first-class train station, you can see that we're on track with it.
From Ikeja to Mushin Terminal, Yaba, and the final stop at the Oyinbo station, where the governor promised residents that the work on that axis will be delivered soon.
After that, we went to inspect the overpass, which is the vehicular, the bridge from Sanwo-Olu Road onto Agege Motor Road, going towards Mongoro. You can also see that that bridge, which has two flanks, is a T-bridge, right? It's on track. Is on the plan to be completed by the end of October, right? And you can see that significant work has gone onto that bridge overpass. The overpass is really for the rail to be able to go underneath, right? From there, we all joined again and went to the Mushin station. Similarly, also at the Mushin station, you have a bridge that crosses from Kayode, the Onipan side, the Ikorodu Road side of the bridge, onto the Ogumokun side, you know, in Mushin, going towards Agege Motor Road. You could see that the bridge are out and it's on schedule. There were a few challenges in that area. There are 1 or 2 schools that we need to relocate, and there's a massive, you know, regeneration that we plan for that whole place. You could see that on the rail track, there are several demolitions that are taking place. Government has paid extensive amount, far and over beyond what anybody could have expected on that entire. That's why we don't have any problem at all. And you also saw the station that's also going on there. So at Mushin, we have the bridge overpass. We also have the station there. So that makes the second bridge overpass.
Governor Sanwo-Olu says the project deadline is on track.
We were at Yaba train station again. There are 2 major infrastructure development there. The train station is at roof level, right? You could see that it's on track, is on schedule. Similarly, you also saw the bridge there. The bridge from Teju Show that now exits into Muritala Mohammed is also a T-bridge, like you have in Ikeja. It's also a T-bridge, and the contractor was on site, and the contractor also had indicated by November, before the end of this year, that whole bridge also will be open. From there, we are now here at Ebute-Metta, and we're at the junction, like I said, of Ebute-Metta, which is Apapa Road and Muritala Mohammed. Similarly as well here, we have a bridge overpass and we have a train station. We've been to the train station before. You know that that has also the civil works of that station have been completed. It's just the finishing that we're doing in that station. And you can see the bridge overpass as well. It's also on schedule to ensure that they hand over this November, December at the latest. This particular place has been extremely very challenging because of the vehicular density here and the fact that it was difficult for the contractor to have access to be able to do their drilling so that they can come up with all of the piers. But I'm happy that all of that has happened now. So what they're doing is they are doing concrete in situ, and they are doing also precast so that they can put, you know, all of the beams on schedule. So that really is our journey today on the red line. We're trying to ensure that we even exceed our own promise. The promise that the operation should start first quarter 2023. Right. So what we're doing is to ensure that the physical infrastructure, right, are completed by December latest. All stations, all bridges, all walkways, all pedestrian bridges by December, so that they can start testing. You know, operationally, it will take 2-3 months. You need to check your signaling. You need to check, you know, the sensing of all of the signalization that you have, right? So we're hoping that the operations will start within the first quarter of 2023. It could be January. We'll start carrying passengers from January, test passengers, February. You know, operationally, we should start doing that first quarter next year. And those were the promises that we gave to Lagosians.
The mass transit project, including overpasses, stations and other assets, is part of the state's intermodal transportation arrangement, expected to move over 500,000 passengers daily.
2 months, 3 months, we'll finish it, okay? Small, patient, small. We'll rush it very fast, okay? No vex, okay?
Now to Lagos Island, where the Lagos state government is constructing a 1.2-kilometer water protection channel to tackle flood in the area. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made this known after inspecting ongoing the Massey Children's Hospital, Adeniji Andele Road, and other projects on Lagos Island.
April 2021, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu flagged off the construction of a new Massey Children's Hospital, as well as the upgrade of Adeniji Andele, Okekpopo, and Takpa streets, all on the island. 16 months later, the governor visits the area to inspect the progress of the He gets a brief on the road projects.
Presently, we've achieved 65% progress. We've carried out lots of soil replacement, relocation. The drainage works are in place, service docks, and between now and between here and about 1.5 meters is a 2 meter stretch. The pavement is in place.
The governor and his team takes a walk to the construction site of the new 10-story Massey Children Hospital. They were well received by residents.
This is the multi-level car park. Yeah. Next to it will be the hospital.
So the layout for the hospital is far wider.
Much bigger. The footprint is 500 piles.
Yeah, 502 piles.
For the main hospital.
And we have 155 for this.
155 for the multi-level car park.
65% work has been achieved on the road project, and the governor said will be delivered by December.
We started the journey today with a on-the-spot assessment of ongoing complete reconstruction of Tapa, Okekpokpo, and Adeniji-Adele roads in Lagos Island. Messrs. Julius Berger, the contractor on site, did mention to us that the project is about 60-65% and that they are on track to see if they can complete the project before the end of the year. We've seen some part of it. Interlocking stones have been laid. The drainages have largely been completed, and the whole area looks new. Thereafter, we went to inspect the construction at the new Massey Children's Hospital, where we noticed the two buildings that are meant to be coming up. The 9-story car park by Messrs. Dory had started. They're on the 3rd floor. However, the main hospital construction for the Massey Children's Hospital, all the 547 caps, piling caps have been completed, and the contractor too has moved to site. So that's the 10-story new children's hospital that is coming up. And they've assured us that they will work even doubly hard to keep up with the terms of the projects.
The team moves to Ilobirin, where a flood protection channel is being built by the Ministry of Environment to address the issue of flood on the island.
We cross over to Ilobirin, to the Ilobirin pumping site. This is the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Drainage project, and we're able to observe and see that where we have the current temporary wall, and you could see pumping going on. This retention wall is to prevent the backflow of water from the Lagos Lagoon flowing back into the Lagos Island. That's why you saw those pumping stations there. So if they don't do that barricade at high tide, water will just naturally be flowing back from the lagoon, because like we've said before, significant part of Lagos is below the sea level. So when the water rises from the ocean, from the lagoon, it can flow back into the city. That's why you see the pumping. But the main observation today is that we're constructing a new 1 kilometer or 1.2 kilometer diversion from in front of the Ilobirin housing estate that will take, a bigger body of water onto the Lagos Lagoon. And that one, we're expecting 3 high-capacity pumps that I'm told will be arriving next month. So the bed for the drainage is what we saw, and the construction is ongoing to be able to receive, the main pumps when they do arrive. So what that means is that issues around flooding and drainage issues can be completely resolved on Lagos Island. Because once that outfall has been completed, we can now go back into some part of Lagos Island. The Ojogiwa collector, the Thomas collector, and we can go and redo them properly so that we know that at the other end, there's something to receive them.
It makes a final stop at Odon General Hospital, where rehabilitation work is also ongoing.
finally, we're here at the Lagos Island General Hospital, Odon, which is the foremost general hospital in the state. This is a secondary health facility, and the hospital is as old as Lagos itself, and I'm sure you can see. But so what we're doing, and it's also the hospital that has, after LASUT, is one that has the largest number of patients coming in. And you can see from the last 3 years, we've been doing different phases of extensive renovation in the hospital because it cannot be closed down. The hospital in itself cannot be closed down completely, so we need to, be very creative in how we measure, the renovation. I think the first phase was the accident emergency, the surgical emergency, the wards, and the training room, including the one that the foundation did for us, which will be a medical tourism. That's the first phase. The second phase is the pharmacy, the catering, and some other parts. I think the one we're watching now is the third phase, which has the high clinic, the admin building, the ambulance bay, the patients waiting area, and some of the wards, children's ward, surgical, male, female. And they are going to another phase, which will be the fourth phase, which will now be to take the final set of wards. Even in this last phase, pathology department is there. And so there's still going to be a few demolition that will happen in here, right? And to be able to receive, additional patients. This building here is doctors' quarters. We're happy that the doctors are there and it's being run very well, and we have a maintenance, company that ensures that all the doctors, some of them are here, some are in the other hospitals, in Lagos. And just to also mention that new hospitals that we're building, we're trying to also infuse with doctors' quarters, right? We're building one in General Hospital Bagada. We're also building another one in General Hospital Isolo. To be able to accommodate, give residents to our doctors and some of our other health practitioners. So we're building Ojo, brand new hospital that will also have in it doctors' quarters and the rest of it.
The state government says the infrastructure development would help achieve a mega city status for Lagos.
One last stop on the program is Ogba and Mushin area of Lagos. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu visited the construction site of the industrial hub, the leather hub that will be ready by December, and the automobile facility, a joint venture agreement with GIC Motors Company Limited for the establishment of a vehicle assembly plant in the state.
This is Webco Road, Ogba, Lagos. A vehicle assembly plant put together by the Lagos State government in partnership with CIG Motors is nearing its completion stage. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is here to inspect the facility and is pleased with the progress.
This is one of the things we promised, Lagosians, that apart from our relationship with GIC Motors, that there's a partnership in which we wanted to set up a vehicle assembly plant. And you have all gone there. You've seen that the site is live. You've seen that equipment have started coming in. And you've seen that the place have been well prepared to receive the production, of vehicles. First, it will be SKD before they move to CKD. And you can see the entire lines are coming up very, very well. We're hoping that part of their first plan is to have a production that can do up to 5,000 vehicles, right? At the first instance, then now take it up to 10,000, right? And we're happy with the level of work. We're happy with the commitment of our partner, Messrs. GIC Motors. And we're happy that indeed we can begin to implement the plan. The plan is that we do not want to begin to buy fully built vehicles from them. We want to have an assembly line, and we want to have an opportunity where we can train, and employ our own citizens for a production line like that.
Then he moves to the State Industrial Leather Hub, located in Matori, Mushin area, where he was received by large crowd. The state government commenced the construction of the leather hub in September last year to offer training opportunities for youths to learn skills and also earn a living in the value chain of leather production.
This site, which is called the Lagos State Leather Hub Facility, this is a project that we conceived about a year and a half ago. And you can see it's an hub. It's a leather hub where we want two things, right? Have a production line where people, can be trained in all forms of leather activity, leather products in general, right? From shoes to leather bags to belt, everything that has to do with tannery and leather. You've seen the factory that we have behind. More like training grounds. Up on this floor, on the second floor, they have plans to be able to take about 100 students at once, where each one of them will have a small machine where they can learn from, and thereafter they can go into the hub and the factory itself if they have orders, and people that are into leather manufacturing already, they don't need to travel out of the country to make, all of their leather finished products. And also, we also have an opportunity for shops. There are about 42 or so lock-up shops that will be here selling leather-related, accessories and leather-related goods, so that we can partner with other leather markets that are around Mushin here. And this place can indeed be a hub for them. They don't need to begin to crack their head on how they need to have equipment on an individual basis before they can get, to their finished products. This hub will be available for them, for their use, and it's not only for one person, it will be for the entire ecosystem, of leather wool and leather accessories. And so I'm told that we're at about 60-65% level of completion. The contractor has committed to a December deadline, but we'll give him 1 or 2 months, grace, because we're expecting the equipment to start arriving from October, right? And so we should also be able to complete this before the end of our first tenure, of government in this administration.
The Lagos State government says the completion of the automobile facility and the leather hub will create direct and indirect jobs for small and medium enterprises in the ecosystem.
That's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Stay safe.